Hi, this is Phil Shapiro. I recently came across this very interesting and useful book, The ABCs of Learning Issues, A Practical Guide for Parents by Dana Stahl. This book is an act of philanthropy. That's the only way I can describe it. You know, when you pick up the newspaper, you read about these philanthropists, people who give away money. Well, it's easy to give away money. But the true philanthropists are the people in the caring professions, teachers, nurses, doctors, people who give away kindness. Kindness is worth more than money. And this is a book of great kindness. Let's take a look. Here's the back cover of the book. It says it's a valuable tool for parents to help them understand various learning issues. It bridges the homeschool gap. It captures how parents and teachers can work together. So let's take a look at the inside. You can read some of this on your own if you're interested. I'm recording this screencast in 4K video on my Linux laptop. So if you have a big monitor, you ought to be able to see this in clear detail. So the author of the book has a very interesting background in that she herself was diagnosed with dyslexia. And it says over here, down here towards the bottom, in first grade in 1966, 3 years after dyslexia was an officially recognized diagnosis, Dana was placed in the untenable position of having to demonstrate that she was bright, competent, and capable, even though reading was nearly impossible. I found out on her website that it wasn't until she was 10 that she was correctly assessed and started receiving appropriate instruction. So out of this difficult childhood experience, she has now devoted her life to making the lives of other children and adults easier. So this is a very commendable use of one's time. And it goes on here to explain about her, all of her different qualifications. She sits on the board of a Montessori school. She's visited over 100 schools, giving them advice on learning disabilities and things like that. And she has her own consulting business, Education Alternatives. Look it up on the web. You can, there's an interesting blog and other things there. So this tells a little bit more. I wanted to scan the opening parts of this book so that you get a good sense of whether this book is useful for you. Oh, down here it says, to address these needs, Dana created the ABCs Learning Issues for Parents, and another book, I think it's Boxes for Educators. So here's the contents, all the different learning issues. Look at the very nice use of color there that makes this table of contents jump out. Very nice design in this book. Kudos to the publishing company, and maybe the author who also maybe participated in that. So, and here's some more of the table of contents, and here is the end of the table of contents. I liked the glossary. There's an interesting glossary at the end. I love the layout of the book where they explain things that the lingo of this field has clinical definitions, educators' definitions, and practical definitions. And so that's all broken down here. Very interesting. So that this promotes better communication. Promotes better communication. It's good for everybody. It's good for the school staff, good for the parents, good for the children, when everybody's on board with what words mean. You know, sometimes when I'm sitting in a doctor's office, the doctor starts using words that I don't really know, and there's a disparity of understanding of words. And so this is analogous to that. This is a book that empowers parents, but by empowering parents, they also bring benefits to the children and to the school. So Here's a note from the author. I wrote this book to help parents understand the behaviors of their children. The ABC of Learning Issues will help parents and guardians further understanding of learning issues they observe at home and hear about from their children's teachers. You can read this on your own. I wanted to include this. This is a letter from the author, so I needed to include it in the book review. My book review is done in video form so that I can reach more people who otherwise might not read a book review that is in written form. And then I'm also able to include more of the book, like in a written book review. I'm not going to include this entire letter from the author, but the author quite likely would like to have this letter included in the book review. This is a letter to parents. And so I am doing my part to help people learn about this really interesting and useful book. And let's see a little bit more. Here's from the inside of the book, academic anxiety with regard to performance. So there's the clinical definition, the educator's definition, and what do these definitions mean? Here is a page I wanted to pull out and share with you, preparing for special education meetings. There are questions that parents should ask at CPSE, Committee for Preschool Special Education for Children 3 to 5, or CSE, Committee on Special Education for Students K through 12. The 504 plan, or IEPs. It explains what is the 504 plan. Anyway, what an interesting and useful book. Kudos to the author and the publisher. They have just made a lot of people's lives easier, more tolerable. This is a highly recommended purchase for both public libraries and school libraries. Thank you to the author and everybody who supported the author in helping make this book come to life. For those who are wondering, I'm making this screencast using some free software called Simple Screen Recorder. I have my ThinkPad laptop. And if you're interested in my other book reviews, some of them are on education topics and other topics of interest. You can go to sites.google.com/site/Phil Shapiro Book Reviews. And if you'd like to contact me, here is my contact information. A nice way that you can support my book reviews is to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Anybody with a YouTube account can do that. And you can set up a YouTube account very quickly using your Gmail. And you don't have to be a video producer to have a YouTube account. You can have a YouTube account without being a video producer, and you can comment, leave supportive comments on people's videos, and you can subscribe to channels that you'd like to support, and it costs $0.00 to do that. Until next time, bye.